G'day, I'm Ash. I hope you're all doing fantastically well. I am basically dead inside in terms of health. I've got a bit of health complications I'll talk about that in Crash with Ash when it comes out in the next couple of weeks. But I hope you haven't missed the content too much. Regardless, I haven't really been doing too much content as is. I haven't been physically able to, let alone sit down for an hour or two at a particular time. Now, for those of you who might be in the know, I'm joined by Fokker Boombas and the real Napoleon, and these two fellows are also in the content partnership program with Gajan. As such, I also had to play a YouTuber tournament cup with them, and also Bacon and I believe Donny, and there was one other, I've forgotten his name. But regardless, there was a YouTuber cup this past weekend. Congratulations to G Squad for winning the YouTuber tournament. It's unfortunate that my team lost, although we did come close in the second round to actually turning the tide on that one, but it just wasn't enough. If you want to see a video on my thoughts and from my perspective and my analysis of how things went, I probably might do a video on that. The footage isn't particularly watchable, but there is something to be learnt from that, and I think that's really the key experience there. Anyway, targets are spotted. This is preparation for the team match. We're just doing World War II, and wablam, there goes a Crusader. First shot, straight through, knocked out all the crew. Goodbye, pesky Desert Ranger. Just going to blindly fire here, and I thought that was a vehicle, it was not. We're going to push straight towards the rock near the church. That's a particularly strong position, provided that you know exactly what's on your flank and where. And this is where I royally screw up. There's not actually a point or position there where I know. But anyway, back of an M3 Lee, can't help myself, straight through the engine, knock all of the crew out in the back. And we're just going to slowly but slowly push up, and I have no idea why I'm doing this. I just shot a house. Don't know why, just did. That's when I realised that I have targets towards my right. But I've also forgotten about tanks to my left, and that will become violently apparent in just a moment. I'm aiming here at what looks to be a Matilda. Yep, that's definitely a Matilda. The Queen of the Desert is rolling through. Impenetrable armour, especially at this kind of range. There's no point in me trying to fight that, so I'm trying to back up here. I am very conscious that my tank will actually stick out the rear. In fact, I'm very, very conscious, and that's when I start getting shot in the rear. Someone I've forgotten about in town. There's a Crusader, I think, just sitting there. We're going to blap him in a second, but we're just going to back ourselves into the corner here. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to push on. Because that's a good idea, right? It's a sort of a good position to hold if you're on this kind of map, provided that you know what's on your flank. This is where I didn't know what was on my flank. So here we are. We've knocked our gunner out. We're just rolling directly towards a target. He's currently just firing at us. I don't know where he is. Well, I know roughly where he is. Blam. There we go. Goodbye, Valentine. That is the third kill for the match, but I have a heavily damaged crew, and I'm just concerned that, well, I'm going to get flanked, and my concern was perfectly valid. I would normally turn the hull around, and that's what probably, admittedly, I should have done. But this Crusader here has no idea I'm here, so we just aim mid-center of shot, knock out all the crew. Now, I'm going to reverse up, because I don't know where anything is. Now, I'm thinking that there's enemies going to come streaming in towards A. But again, that never really seems to happen. So anyway, we're just bunkering down here. This is a good position to hold. And it's sort of in between the spawn and the enemy. I wish Gajan would change this map a little bit. This position is a little bit too strong in my honest opinion. And if you get something like an archer into this position, it's basically unstoppable. There's a Sherman just down there, or is that a ram? He has no idea I'm here. Yeah, that is definitely a ram too. Ricochet straight off the front. I should have aimed for the turret cheeks. Of course, I get shot in the gunner position. I'm not quite conscientious of that other dude towards my front until just then. Anyway, we're going to charge him. Hopefully, no, we missed. We absolutely dunked the shot. We're getting shot by multiple targets from their spawn. There's a little Stuart here. I'm going to keep the engine on fire. Hopefully I can reload by now. Nah, we're going to have to hit the fire extinguisher here soon. Nah, we didn't quite get a shot off on that one. Unfortunate. We then take out an IL-2. Unfortunately, we get shot down by a P-40. But you just look at the volume of tanks that are there rolling up that hill if you don't secure your flank. Picking up the other T-34. And we're just going to continue driving. You know, almost like you're just rolling straight into Berlin and don't really care. And exactly that's what we're going to do, except we're in Normandy. And that doesn't really make any sense. But anyway, The Russian lineup at this particular BR, I believe it's either 4-3 or 4-0, or is it 3-7? Those lineup brackets, even 3.0 and 2.0, anywhere between 2.0 and 5.7, Russia is an absolutely fantastic nation to play. It's so versatile. Their tanks are rather mediocre at best, but the armor is decent, the mobility is good, not great. The guns are okay. That's kind of the biggest lacking vehicle-wise the Russians get. Aside from your 122mm, your Su-85, and obviously T-34-85, those are all exceptions to the rule. The World War II lineup, specifically the early war loadout, is particularly powerful, and I don't know, I just really like it. The biggest gripe I have is people saying, oh, there's Russian bias in the game. Well, you know, there might be some elements of bias in the game. Of course, there always is, in every single game, wherever the developers are from, their particular home country, is going to be slightly more powerful. I have no idea where that aircraft came from, but it is now raining aircraft. And I've realised I've pushed a little too far as I've exposed my whole entire silhouette on their side of the spawn. Regardless, we're going to still sit here and we're going to put a shot at the Chaffee. Hopefully this shot goes a bit high. No, it hits the track. We knock out that Chaffee's track. Regardless, they know they're getting shot at now. Should I aim up a little bit more? And of course, I fluke the shot. The shot goes straight underneath the Chaffee. That's when I spot the Crusader off to the right. It's like, I need to prevent my spawn flankers. That's when I take a shot by the Chaffee straight to the armor. He doesn't penetrate at all. Anyway, we're going to try and find where he is. And that's when I get a supporting fire from a wonderful squad mate, the IL-4, who's knocked out the Mi-24 and the other particular vehicle that I was shooting at just before. And we're just getting a hail of bullets coming our way. So I decide, alright, we need to start pushing towards that particular sector up on the top. Someone puts a shot into me, we knock out that Cromwell, probably the most lethal vehicle that you'll face at this particular tier, 4.0 and 3.7. The Cromwell is one of the best vehicles, I think, even though it doesn't have a very good reverse gear. But regardless, we're still going to sit here, still going to sit in this bush. We're just going to stop them from advancing to try and cap the point. Now at this point, would you call that spawn capping? Probably. But, you know, you've got to do what you've got to do to win. Take another shot from that light tank and then get absolutely blown to smithereens by that M4A1. That being said, that was a really good shot by him, and we're going to go take out the other T-34, hopefully. And there we go. Just make sure we pick the right... I don't know what I'm doing here. Just fucking hit the battle button. There we go, finally, you did it. Good job, you. And we're going to push forward in this obnoxious white camouflage. We're going to go exactly to the same area. Hopefully we get there. But we're noticing that the enemies are actually starting to push us back off C. A lot of them are trying. A is now being captured by friendlies. It's not looking too good, but at the same time, I reckon we could just win this one by just pushing and holding at the objective. Looking in the air for aircraft. Again, you always have to keep an eye out. And we're just going to push forward. Use this vehicle's momentum and just keep going. That's some of the things that I like about the Russian vehicles. They take an insane amount of harsh punishment, but they also, well, they're also rather unreliable as well. Fokker there is getting shot at by another aircraft. He'll probably end up by killing that particular aircraft. He's a pretty decent pilot. That being said, he's a memester. You never know. He might pull a no-you. That's when they start capturing the C point. Let's drop artillery directly on that point where all the enemies were flooding over towards C. I'm going to make a beeline for C right now. Tickets are looking incredibly low. But hang on, we've got an opportunity to shoot something here, and we missed because the target's going left to right and did not sit still. Right, so we're going to push straightly forward. There is many targets directly to our front, including those Shermans that we engaged earlier. He has no idea I'm here. I'm going to put one straight through the ammunition, and we knock out basically all the crew. Now this match is not exactly spectacular, however, I do get a few kills, and that is our 6th kill. Just going to put another shot through, and I think that is a jumbo. That is a more heavily armoured Sherman than I was expecting. Hans, as the transmission broke, we're in the wrong nation. We're getting shot from multiple directions currently. Is that a Locust? I think that is a Locust. That is our 7th kill. Poor little Locust thought he could flank me. Alright, that's about it for this video, guys. This will be my 8th kill right here. Do check out The Real Napoleon and Focko Bombas. They'll be linked in the description down below. Alright, until next time, everybody, thank you very much for watching. My name's Ash, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheerio! Bye-bye.